Hi everyone, welcome to Tanya and Tiana English. I'm Tanya. Do you know how to use the present perfect continuous verb tense? This verb tense is sometimes called the present perfect progressive verb tense as well. Is this tense sometimes confusing for you? In this video, we're going to talk about the ESL present perfect continuous tense made easy. Let's get started. We use the present perfect continuous tense to talk about how long we've done something or the length of time that something has been happening and could possibly continue to happen. Today, I'm going to show you how to construct this sentence, give you some examples, and give you the chance to practice using this tense as well. If you haven't watched our previous videos on the other verb tenses, you're going to want to check out those videos. I'll put a link above, and I'll also put a link in the description below. As I said, the present perfect continuous is the tense that we use when we want to talk about something that has been happening over a certain length of time. It's something that has been happening and has been happening until the present moment, and it may or may not continue to happen. So you can see that in the timeline that I've drawn here for you. I've also written here for you the formula or the equation for how you can construct this verb tense, how you can use this verb tense in a sentence. So you're going to use the verb to have in its form either has or have, and the verb been, and the present participle. Now, what makes this verb tense just a little bit easier than the present perfect is that the present participle for all verbs end with an ing. So you can see that here in the example sentence. And I've written the example sentence that I've been using in all of these verb tense videos. And as that sentence is written in the present perfect continuous, it would be, I have been reading this book for 2 hours. So you can see what we're doing is we're saying that we have been continually reading the book and that it's lasted for 2 hours. Based on this sentence by itself, without any context, we don't know if we will continue to read the book into the future or not, but we could. So I've written here a little diagram so you can see this represents 2 hours that I've been reading this book. The way that the verb to have is conjugated in this verb tense is the same for all of the different conjugations except for the third person where we have he, she, or it has. All of the rest of them use the verb in the form I have, you have, we have, you all have, and they have. Even though we use this tense to express something that was done over a period of time, we don't have to say the period of time. So, for example, we could use the same sentence I used in the previous example, but instead of saying, I have been reading the book for 2 hours, I could just simply say, I have been reading the book. That doesn't say how long I've been reading it, but a native speaker or someone who is fluent will understand that I've been reading it for a period of time. We just don't know how long that period of time has been. It's also common to use this verb tense with the words recently or lately. So to use the example we've been using, we could say, recently I have been reading this book. Or lately, I have been reading this book. So we're showing someone what we have been doing in the near past. To form a question in the present perfect continuous, we just switch the first two words. So, for example, I can make the statement, you have been cooking, and if I want to ask a question, I can just switch the first two words and say, have you been cooking? I can add the length of time if I want. So I could make the statement, you have been cooking for 2 hours. Or I can ask the question, again, just by changing the first two words, have you been cooking for 2 hours? So you can see that we use this verb tense to say how long something has happened. Another thing that native speakers understand intuitively when they hear this verb tense is that the person is implying something that isn't said. So for instance, if I said to someone, I have been cooking for 2 hours, that states that I have been cooking for 2 hours, but it also implies I'm still cooking and it's taking a long time. Because this verb tense uses the verb I have, she has, they have, we can use the contraction I've been cooking instead of saying I have been cooking, or she's been cooking instead of she has been cooking. So that's very commonly used with this verb tense. There are some common mistakes that English learners make with this verb tense. Because some verbs express a state and other verbs express an action, it can be a little bit confusing. We don't use this verb tense with state verbs. So a couple of verbs that are state verbs are to hear, to know, to understand, to hate, and to belong. We don't use this tense with those verbs. Instead, we use the present perfect. Let me give you a couple of examples. So we don't say, we have been understanding what we read in that book. Instead, we use the present perfect and we say, we have understood what we've read in that book. If you need more help with the present perfect, be sure to check out our video, and I'll put a link above as well as in the description. Let me give you another example. You might hear someone say, they have been knowing each other for 2 years. This is incorrect. It is correct to say they have known each other for 2 years. Again, the second sentence, which is correct, is in the present perfect. So let me give you 2 sentences and see if you can decide which one is correct and which one is incorrect. The first sentence is, this shirt has belonged to me for 1 year. And the second sentence is, this shirt has been belonging to me for 1 year. Which of these 2 sentences is correct? The first sentence is correct. This shirt has belonged to me for 1 year. It is not correct to use the present perfect continuous with the word belong. Now let's practice using the present perfect continuous by writing your own sentence. My question for you is, how long have you been learning English? Think of how you could answer this question using this verb tense. If you need some help, rewind and listen to the video again so that you can figure out how you would write the answer to this question. How long have you been learning English? If this video was helpful to you, be sure to give it a thumbs up. You can subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. And if you click the little bell next to it, you won't miss any more English lessons. We post an English lesson every Saturday. If you'd like to practice your listening skills, click on this video. And if you'd like YouTube to pick the video that's best for you for learning English, click on this video. Bye.